it's me, and today, it's a very special video. Today we're going to be ranking all the tunes, including the Christmas ones. And honestly, some of the tunes I've ranked could be argued upon, depending on how you think they should be placed. For example, Flutter's placement I could see some people arguing about. If you disagree with any of them, please comment them down. I'd honestly want to know which tier you would put them. Without further ado, on the F tier, which is the only tune in the F tier, Sugar Bowl. I think this is self-explanatory. 1 star on every single stat is not good. I've seen so many beginners make the poor mistake of just buying him when they have the ick for him and not even know about how the stars work. But yeah, his passive also reduces his stealth, so that's not good either. Even a Brightney could get it twisted off them if a shrimp was nearby. So yeah, that's why he's last place. And now onto the D tier with only 2 2s in there. And next up is tune Cole. Now I debated putting Cole above or lower with this one, but honestly Cole doesn't have anything going for them. 4 stars in stamina and movement speed, it's just generic. And their ability doesn't really help the team to survive that well. Sure, it locates items, but you're not gonna choose a Cole over a Pebble. So I can't really put Cole any higher. Next up is Flutter. Now this is the one I could see people arguing about, but for me, Flutter's in the D tier. Why? Because unlike other distracted tunes, Flutter only has an ability that helps themselves and not other people. On during a solo run, I would definitely put Flutter somewhere high B tier or low A tier. But in a team environment, no, D tier. Alright, now up to the C tiers. Scraps. Now this tune was saved from being put in D tier for one main reason. The buff it got where it could just grapple onto a machine, making Scraps possibly one of the quicker tunes to use the V remote. That's pretty much it. 5 star stamina, it's fine. 2 star movement speed, I guess the stamina helps with it, but not by much. And all the other stats are just mediocre. Okay, next up, Bobette. Now, I am so disappointed in this tune because I thought it was going to be way better than like the rest of the mains, but no, they're the worst main by far. Sure, their ability to hide in a box is pretty nice. Heck, it has some use cases against Twisted Dandy, which is something Connie doesn't do. But not being able to move in the box, it just hurts it. For one main factor, the higher you go, the more twisteds there are. Meaning, even if you use your ability, you still run the risk of a twisted going near you by the time your box ends, or while your ability ends. And the stats don't complement her passive. Her passive only works within a specific area. And the main issue with that is that she has 2 star stealth, so she can't even use it properly. Another thing as well, she used to have 2 star movement speed until now, which pretty much saved her from being put into the D tier. But honestly, if you want to run Bobette, make sure you run Diary. Or at least run Diary when there's like a Louie in your team. But yeah, this tune is so disappointing to me. But anyway, next up, Razzle and Dazzle. I don't know what to say. It's just a passive makes some runs just really inconsistent. Sometimes you want the speed boost on some floors when there's like Twisted Pebble, maybe even some more faster moving Twisteds over than Pebble, like Glisten. But then sometimes you do need the extraction speed, and it just makes floors take so much longer, and it's just not that great. I sure hope they do get a rework at some point, but at least they're not that bad. Alright, next up, Toodles. Their ability, yeah, A-ball, gambling, funny. But on a serious note, it is somewhat useful. Being able to gain a speed boost or a stamina boost during a chase could really save you. But that's the thing. Another thing as well, you might not even get a speed boost or a stamina boost. You might get a stealth boost, an extraction speed boost. And overall, she doesn't really provide much for a team environment either. Her stats are alright, I guess. 4-star stealth could bring beginners. It could make beginners run a more risky playstyle where they just go around. That's it. Okay. Next up is Roger. Honestly, Roger was so close to being B tier, but one very detrimental thing prevents him from being there. That is passive. Yes, you do want double research on things, but it doesn't really help him to actually survive. Maybe even do anything that increases his extraction speed, which is what he's best at. But Roger is there, so it is less time consuming for people to get mains. And honestly, I sure hope they don't change that. But the main reason why he's down in C tier is just his low movement speed, along with his 3-star stamina. It doesn't help him in survivability. But he could be a high risk, high reward sometimes. Okay, now in B tier, we got Poppy. Now Poppy is better than you may think. Because yes, I know, it's a starter tune. People hate starter tunes. Like, could you just not hate on them for a moment and actually take a look at what you could do with it? Poppy's passive allows them to gain, I'm pretty sure, like 50% speed boost whenever they hit. But the only reason I wouldn't suggest a starter choosing Poppy at first is because having this ability, like, if you rely on it too much, it could just be like some sort of crutch for you. Because you need to learn at the start of the game to get the twists off of you. And the passive just makes that easier. I know that's a good thing, but when you're starting out, it makes you learn the game much more difficult. But anyway, there's stats. Decent all around. Not that bad. It's just the passive could be a bit better. I wish Poppy's passive could be turned into an active ability, where a Poppy could, once activated the ability, they gain like an extra heart, only for like a certain amount of time. And if a Twisted hits them, of course they get stunned for a little while. which I think could make for some awesome plays. But honestly, I can understand why the devs don't want to possibly use that idea, because I'm pretty sure Quell said they don't want any stunners in the game. But anyway, next up, Buxton. Buxton's a weird one when it comes to talk about him in a team environment, because he just depends on how well your team performs. If your team has multiple distractors, you're going to do really well. If your team has no distractors, and like one of them dies, of course your passive just grows more and more useless the further you go. Unless all your team is alive, Buxton is just the same as Poppy, I would probably say. But obviously one has to be higher than the other, and Buxton's more unique team play. Like you could fit one Buxton in a comp at least. So I give them B2 for that. Next up is Finn. Finn is decent. Just decent. Decent all around. 2-star stamina, 3-star movement speed, 4-star skill check, and 3-star stealth and 3-star extraction speed. Now Finn's passive is basically the same as Shelly's, but still, even if it's the same as Shelly's, Finn makes remarkable use of it. Increasing your movement speed while having a lower stat in stamina is really nice. I always like toons that have abilities that help them survive longer. But Finn's passive is just decent. He's decent all around. 4-star skill check makes him. It just makes him really good with participation award and magnifying glass. But obviously, you could run over trinkets as well, like maybe something that helps his stamina. Or maybe stamina regeneration. He's pretty flexible. Alright, next up, V. Now V used to be A tier for me, but with the more deadlier Twisteds coming around, she's just started to fall more and more down. She's getting outclassed now. But don't get me wrong, being able to highlight Twisteds everywhere on the map is really nice. She's still like almost a requirement in team comps, mainly for distractors, because it's easier to round up Twisteds if V highlights all of them. V's best partner is definitely Louie and Goob. I think Goob's a better support for her, since Goob can grab her from really dangerous situations. But V is a high risk, high reward toon, and if you want to master her, go ahead. She's really good. Anyway, next up is Tegan. I think she's just mainly carried by the fact that she could just heal herself with 100 tapes. That's it. Her stamina is really nice. The only issue is her stealth, but her stamina makes it easier for her to escape situations where she's found multiple times. Overall, she's really good for solo runs. In a team composition, you could just replace her with Sprout. That's my only grudge against her. Anyway, next up is Brightney. Again, this might be another toon where people could argue about this, but honestly, it's just because people just use her incorrectly. People don't even pay attention to the surroundings while playing her. It just annoys me whenever Brightney gets themselves into trouble because they didn't look where they're going. Yes, I know there's sometimes in the game you just can't see where Twisted's coming from, But in a team composition, if you're a Brightney and there's a distractor nearby you, you really just want to turn the other way. If the distractor's in your way, you could just ask them to move somewhere else. He most likely will. But anyway, her stats are good. 4-star extraction speed is nice. 4-star stamina is nice as well. 3-star movement speed and skill check. The main issue that I find with her is just 1-star stuff, but it isn't as bad as you think. Alright, now for the A tiers, and first up in the A tier is Connie. Connie is the safest extractor you could possibly ever get in the game. 4-star extraction speed, 5-star stealth, 1-star movement speed, I think 2-star skill check, and 3-star stamina. Not bad in terms of stats, but what makes her even better is the fact that she could turn invisible and lose possibly any twisteds on her, which is not common, but still, having a bit of a braver when a twist is chasing you, like, I don't know, Twisted Pebble or something that's just faster than you, is so useful. The only issue is that she can't use it against Dandy, but you rarely ever see Dandy unless you're actually actively going for him. But she is still good, safest extractor you could ever get. So, I'm happy that I'm able to put her in the A tier. Okay, next up is Rudy, our first Christmas tune. Up is Rudy. Rudy is just like the other starter tunes, but what makes him better than the others is the fact that he actually has an active ability, which is exactly the same as Flutter's. So you might be wondering, hey, why is this starter-like tune with the same ability as Flutter better than Flutter? Well, it's just for one simple thing. 3 stars in every stat is really good. Yes, it might become redundant to have like 2 tunes with the same ability, Ginger and Cosmo, but Rudy has more consistency when it comes to obviously extracting. There are no around her. Meanwhile, Flutter's a distractor, possibly the worst distractor. But also, Rudy's a better distractor in my opinion. Wait. Actually, no, Flutter's a better distractor, sorry. But Rudy is a good all-rounder that I suggest you heavily invest to if you have him. If you don't have him, you could just possibly choose other tunes from this list going onwards. Alright, next up is Cosmo. Cosmo is just alright. Wait, no, not just alright, sorry. Cosmo is really good. The only downside to Cosmo is the fact that you have to exchange one of your hearts in order to heal someone. So this also sparks up a lot of things going around in runs where people just take medkits and bandages. I'm like, yes, Cosmo should take medkits and bandages, but Cosmo should only take medkits, not bandages. Unless if that's like the first heal of the run, you should really never take a bandage as a Cosmo. Why? Well, because if there's a main in your run, they often want bandages instead of medkits. And plus, even if there's a medkit on the ground, it might be better for someone else to pick it up and use it to save you from using your ability, especially if you already have like 2 medkits on you already. Pretty sure another YouTuber explained this sort of issue with entitled Cosmos thinking they could get all the heals. But in reality, you should really save heals for the rest of your team so you don't have to use your ability as well. Because if you rely on it too much, then obviously some people are gonna die. But talking away from that, Cosmos stats are really good. 4-star stamina, and I'm pretty sure 4-star stealth. However, the 1-star skill check does get really annoying sometimes. But Cosmo does have 3-star extraction speed as well, and also 3-star movement speed. So obviously that's better than average. Yeah. Alright, next up is Pebble. Now this one, again, I could see people arguing about this, but honestly Pebble's just been outclassed now. Pebble used to be one of the best distractors when tunes like Goob existed, because Goob was really the only distractor tune that was really useful. And when Pebble was added and they got their ability reworked, obviously Pebble became the meta. But now he's more of a niche option, I would say. But still, they still provide a lot of help in a team composition. You can have a Pebble be like some sort of guide dog for Sprout. That's what makes him still be in the A tier today. And also the fact that he has 5-star movement speed and 4-star stamina. The only issue with him being a distractor is that he has 3-star stealth. But overall, if you want to use him, definitely do it, because it could definitely help you practice distracting a bit more consistently. Alright, now the S tier. Now every tune at this point are definitely arguable to be better than one another, but this is my opinion. If you want to play whatever tune like Shrimpo, just go ahead with it. I'm just here to make sure that you know about your weaknesses and strengths of your tune. Right, now, first up in S tier, is Ginger. Now why is Ginger better than Cosmo, you might ask? Isn't Ginger slower than Cosmo? Yes, she is. Isn't Ginger have a longer cooldown than Cosmo? Yes, she does. So why is she better than Cosmo? Well, considering the fact that she has better skill check than Cosmo, same stealth however, yes, she is slower, but the fact is, the range of her ability is ridiculous. You could theoretically heal someone from across the map if the map is small, like the Shelly map. So being able to just use a heal at a really safe spot makes her better than Cosmo. Because the difference between the two and their abilities' ranges is ridiculous. Go have a look for yourself. I bet even you'd be surprised. Alright, next up is Tisha. Tisha is a really cheap tune, costing only 500 Ichor and no other requirements. She has one of the best stat distributions in the entire game. Well, second to another tune that I'll explain later. Tisha has 4-star movement speed, 2-star stamina, 4-star skill check, 3-star stealth, and 2-star extraction speed. Now, there's also another reason why she is so useful right now. The fact that she could also, for her active, give you a speed boost. Now usually, Now, back when like all the other broken tunes didn't exist, Gotago used 2 Tishes on the team in order to get to floor 100. So, why 2 of them? Well, I think one is for the start, which I could probably see them doing at some point. But being able to give someone an emergency speed boost when they're being chased by someone like a Pebble is really nice. And also just being able to be a backup distractor when needed is also nice as well. Overall, she's a really good toon, jack of all trades, I would say. But obviously she isn't as good as the next toon on the list, which is Astro. Astro is alright in the stat department, but that's not what makes him good. What makes him good is active and passive. His active allows him to refill someone's stamina bar completely. Now back then it used to be 50%, but now they buffed it to 100%. I bet you'd probably understand how useful that is. Because in dangerous situations where maybe a Pebble has something like a V on them and they're low on stamina, an Astro can just run up to them with a 5-star stealth, not take attention of any of the Twisteds, and use the ability on the Pebble. Honestly, Astro is a really good contender for the top 3, but the top 3 have qualities that are way better. But overall, Astro is a really good toon. If you want to use him, go ahead. Now for the next toon on the list is Glisten. Glisten is also a high risk, high reward with 2-star stealth, 5-star extraction speed, 2-star skill check, 3-star movement speed, 3-star stamina. But what makes them go into the spot is their active ability, which makes them teleport to the nearest person, or at least their target. And this could also go through walls. However, the only issue with using this ability is that it gives you confusion free, but you're not really gonna be on a machine while you use this anyway. You usually want to do this when you're being chased and a nearest toon or your target is behind a wall. But do, however, keep in mind that if you do this out in the open and you teleport to someone like Brightney, you will put the Twisteds onto them. Just be mindful whenever you're using the ability. Same effect could also happen to you, where like you teleport to a Pebble and the Twisteds are on you. But overall, this toon is really good, high risk, high reward. Just be really careful when you use his active. Alright, next up is Goob. Goob has been really consistent throughout all the game's life so far. He is honestly the best support distractor you could ever get. Now the only issue is that he doesn't have 5-star movement speed, which is pretty much the only thing that's keeping him from being top 3. But Goob still has his grab ability, which is really helpful. And I'm pretty sure if you time it right, you could save someone from being grabbed by Twisted Goob. But no, the reason why it works like that is because Twisted Goob doesn't actually hit you when you're being grabbed. Twisted Goob brings you closer, then hits you. The window for that is very quick, however, so you have to be very quick to grab a toon out of Twisted Goob's grab. Overall, Goob is really good. His stats are really good. 4-star stamina, 4-star movement speed, 2-star skill check. 3-star skill check, sorry. 2-star extraction speed, and 2-star stealth. A 2-star stealth makes him an easy distractor to pick up. And definitely the one that people... It's definitely the most common amongst beginner distractors. But yeah, Goob is really good in survivability, distraction, support. He's just a really good toon overall. But next up is Sprout. Now Sprout, I think you can tell why he's more broken. Because 5-star stamina, 4-star movement speed, 2-star skill check, 2-star extraction speed, and 3-star stealth, honestly really good stats. And also being a support toon, because for the main reason of being able to see everyone on the map and how low they are, and also being able to heal others when you have 100 tapes. Now, however, the only issue is that's keeping him from top 3 is that he can't heal himself. But if he was able to heal himself, he will definitely be in the top 3. But Sprout's best teammates are definitely someone... Actually, I'm not going to spoil it, but Sprout's best teammates are definitely Pebble. I guess Cole could be there if you don't have Pebble. But Pebble's just better as the ability to see items is a passive instead of an active. But yeah, really simple toon, great stats, great abilities. He's the top of S tier. And now, we're getting onto the top 3, which is the X tier. Now, third place is Louis. Louis is the best distractor, hands down. Why? The reason why is because his flexibility. He's got 4-star skill check, 3-star movement speed, 3-star stamina, 2-star stealth, and 3-star extraction speed. Now you must be thinking that this is a joke. Why is Louis in the X tier while he has quite mediocre stats? It's his passive that makes him the best distractor in the game. So you see, whenever Louis gets hit, which as a distractor you're most likely going to get hit, he gains more movement speed as a percentage, not a star increase. Now why is a percentage better than a star increase? Well, if Louis on 1 heart with the same distraction build as a Pebble, Louis is actually faster than Pebble. Now I've seen multiple videos of Louis being able to distract Pebble while not even using an aisle to loop around. And obviously, not being able to do such a stressful task like that is just broken. I can't really say much. But yeah, really good distractor. You could also use him really well in solo runs as well. But with that, Louis in 3rd place. And if you want to learn him, like I said with Goob, go ahead. He's a really good one to use. Alright, 2nd place we have Shelly. Now Shelly is the best support in the game. Mainly because she can give a 75% extraction speed boost. 75 is a lot. And unfortunately, she can't use it on herself, which I'm kind of bummed about. But also, her passive is the same as Finn's, where she gets a speed boost whenever a machine is completed. And obviously, that's really nice to have as well. Overall, she has 5-star skill check. She also has 3-star movement speed, 2-star stamina, 3-star stealth, and 3-star extraction speed. She is definitely a requirement in longer runs. because the more Shellys you have, the quicker you get floors faster, but that does not mean you get to run 7 Shellys and 1 Louis. The maximum you should really ever have is 3, and the minimum is 2. That's it. But yeah, she's a really good support. She's just really good for solo runs as well, because of her passive. And now, for first, is the newer tune. That is honestly, it's the hardest common tune to get in the game. But if you get them, I suggest heavily investing in them. And that is Yada. Now this might seem like a Yada glaze right over there, but nah, I'm not glazing. This is honestly truthful to me, honestly. Yada has 4-star skill check, 5-star extraction speed, 2-star stealth, 1-star stamina. Oh wait, no, not 4-star skill check. Actually, 4-star movement speed. Yes, I can see people arguing about her being lower because of 1-star stamina, but the movement speed kind of makes up for that. The quicker you are, the less stamina you have to use. And with someone like Yada, who's pretty quick, she doesn't even need to use her stamina that much. She is the best all-rounder tune in the game, and also the fact that she could also print tapes for Sprout because of her passive Pinata Party. When this tune completes a machine, 2 candy items drop from her. Now this also includes chocolates and box of chocolates. And the rates for a box of chocolates to appear is actually higher than you may think. But when she gets hit, however, like maybe if you have too many heals in your run, maybe like 3 medkits, you can get hit twice, assuming you haven't got hit before that. And that's a total of 8 candies from 1 medkit use. And obviously, if you want to go further and use another medkit, like when you get hit twice again, that's another 8 candy. So yeah, Yada is Sprout's best friend. And the fact that she also has 2-star stealth makes it so Sprout's pretty much safe to get the candies off the ground. Assuming if Sprout has an open item slot. But on another note, I haven't actually talked about Gigi. Now let's see where she's at. Aha, Gigi. Now Gigi has 5-star skill check, 3-star movement speed, 1-star stamina, 3-star stealth, and 3-star extraction speed. Now what makes her in the A tier is that the fact that she could possibly, with the best luck that you could ever have on the universe, which I don't think many people are gonna have, is possibly like 2 medkits and a bottle of pop. That is possibly the best loadout you could ever get from her ability. But what's holding her back is her ability cooldown and 1-star stamina. Now, you could definitely run some ability trinkets on her, but honestly, 1-star stamina with 3-star movement speed does not pair well with her. But still, she's a really good tune. I've personally used her to get to floor 27 before. Pretty sure I did a live stream on that. But she's definitely a high risk, high reward, like some other tunes, like Glisten and V. But what makes her better is that the fact that she has 3-star stealth and 5-star skill check. But that wraps up the entire tier list video, and I hope you guys pretty much enjoyed it. Yet again, I'm going to say this again, this is all my opinion. If you want to play a specific tune like Shrimpo, Toodles, Roger, go ahead. Yet again, I'm only here to explain the stats, weaknesses, strengths of your tune. Just have fun in the game, honestly. That's all I could say. But with that, that is the Dandy's World tier list of 2025. And goodbye.